Greetings. Today I want to share with you a passage from a book describing how humors work in the body. When joy or sadness touches our heart, the small vessels of the brain, breast, and lungs become disturbed. That is, brain, breast, and lungs become disturbed. On this account, the small arteries of the said breast and lungs send their humors up to the small arteries of the brain, which receive them and flood the eyes, and thus give us tears when the moon up above waxes or wanes. That means either grows larger or smaller during the eclipse. The firmament is disturbed by storms, and in turn it stirs up with its commotion of the sea and the other waters of the earth. In the same way, the humors of the body produce a definite vapor and a characteristic humor. That's humor, H-U-M-O-R. Now, it's important to understand when reading this, they're speaking of physiology impacting emotion, or emotion affecting the mind in the physical body. The terminology they use, moon, they're not speaking of the moon that you view astronomically. There's another moon. When they talk about firmament, they're not talking about the firmament that you would view in the sky up above. We're talking about the firmament in the brain. It's a big difference. If you'll notice, just above me, to get just right, there, that little stone there. The architectural design behind me corresponds to the mind. The pyramid-shaped structure, and of course, a little stone cap here. Indeed. If you'll notice the arch structure. The arch structure shows very much like a head. That was the intention of the architect, that this would look like a person's head. And this pyramid plays a very important role in controlling emotions. The four parts of the pyramid, four corners, four sides, and of course the fifth, all have something to do with emotion. The control of the humor, the fluid, is triggered by events, but they can be tempered by the forces that operate at the various vertices, the corner. There's one corner, and the other corner, and of course, corner here. Get it just right. And of course, directly below. Can't see this corner position because it's blocked by plant. But nevertheless, it is a model. And you'll see the same design on a pack of playing cards, the diamonds. There's no coincidence there. the diamonds were designed to show the same aspect. This diamond-shaped structure also operates with our mind. In fact, if you were to wear costumes or jewelry that had a pyramid or a diamond shape, you could influence your thoughts pretty much as you would using colors or shapes or designs in a room. When you enter the room, you'd feel happy, sad, pleased, creative, dispassionate, just by the design elements themselves. So there's something about this object that's involved in control and emotion. And this particular book, this is the book of the Divine Works of Hildegard of Bingen. Hildegard was unusual in some aspects because she had access to information that most researchers didn't have. Her knowledge of the humors clearly was not from Catholicism. It came probably more likely from the Moors, but that's all speculation. Until someone can find the names and dates of the manuscripts, we can learn where this knowledge may have come. It's a possibility the Cathars had given this information because they were using some knowledge, but we don't know that the Cathars used the humor concept. The humors were used to understand psychology, how people behaved. It's a misinterpretation to say that the humors were just some theory from the medieval times. It surpassed the medieval times. It's very old. If you look in the book of Enoch, the description is of the human brain, the metaphor. And if you look carefully enough, you will find references to humors. So this humor is a substance. It's a substance that it's referring to is something that is a way of describing how we obtain an emotion, how we feel. It can be represented by a model, just as science tries to do. Science would attempt to create a model to explain a phenomenon. Well, what makes you feel happy? Can you make yourself feel happy when you're suddenly caught in the throes of a sadness? Could you influence the direction of your mind as opposed to being carried about by the winds, experiencing climate changes? Indeed, the metaphors of climate and temperature and weather are used to describe how the mind works. How far back does this go? Well, the Kemetic tradition found in the ruins in Egypt do discuss this. They discuss the seasons as though you could use the seasons to balance off emotion. They're actually speaking not of the seasons of the earth as a sphere, but they're speaking of the emotions of you, of me. In the book, it makes a passage about earth, the waters of the earth, the fluids. The earth that they're speaking of in this book is not the earth that you are accustomed to. They're speaking of the spinal nerves. Spinal nerves from my shoulder down to my base of my spine, and the nerves that connect to the central column is what they're calling in this book Earth.